I'd rather be with you. Yeah.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Good Vibes Radio. As every time I'm running an interview at Good Vibes, you will discover an amazing entrepreneur. And today the topic is going to be wine. It's super French, but we've decided with Thomas to do it in English. So basically, during this interview, you are all welcome to ask all of your questions. It's live. And the main goal of Good Vibes is to discover the path, the entrepreneurial path of an entrepreneur that I love, an entrepreneur often from the family, and an entrepreneur we've been working hand in hand with since the very beginning. And today we are with Thomas, who is the co-founder of OE. How are you, Thomas?
Yeah, I'm fine, Alice. I'm very glad to be there with you. Thank you for welcoming me here.
It's my pleasure. So, where are you based right now?
We are in Lyon.
Okay.
All our operations come from Lyon, so yeah, we're here.
Okay, and here you are in your office space, right?
In our office, yeah, and we have all the stock here with me.
And I can see 2 bottles behind. They are yours, right?
And even 3 bottles.
Yes. Can you show me like closer the design and everything? OE. What does it stand for? OE.
OE is the 2 first letters of enology, because we were in the wine industry, and OE is also for
EO.
OE, yes, to take part of this new game. Yeah.
Yeah, like something like to wake you up. Hey.
Wake you up.
Understand that now the world is ecological or nothing, something like that.
Yeah, precisely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have a play in that game. We have a role to play, so we want to be part of it.
Okay, but just let's start by the beginning. What is your one-line pitch? Like, if you had to pitch me, we are in an elevator. You have 30 seconds. How do you pitch OE?
OE is a committed wine brand, so we commercialize organic, certified, and zero pesticides wines, produced with family-owned estates and independent winemakers. But we go further. We have no capsule on the wines because it's not recyclable. We have recycled paper labels. We have fully optimized bottles that comes from deposit, so they are washed. The bottles are washed and not recycled. Everything is minimized on packaging, and we are carbon neutral on all our operations. So we are very coherent on everything we do, far more than only selling organic wines.
Organic, certified, zero pesticides. What does it mean? It means that you work with families who have been changing the way they produce wine?
They use biodiversity to produce a wine without pesticides. So they are organic wines, but they go even further with a global ecosystem. They put into the vineyards to produce more naturally, and we put all these wines. We test it to be sure there are zero pesticides in it. So
I mean, most of your winemakers are French, right? And based in France.
At the moment.
Are they? I mean, was it hard to find them in France?
It's not so hard because it's a small family in the committed wine industry. So we work with some winemakers, and they give us the names of other ones. Some winemakers write to us to work with us. So yeah, it's cool, and we also met them in different places. So it's not so hard because yeah, it's a small world, so we know each other.
All right, cool. Give me the big picture, please, Thomas. Like, what is your impact? What are the KPIs that you follow, so that you can understand where that's always stand?
OA, so it's this year we'll have 200,000 bottles. We are 12 in the company. We are a 4-year company, and we have a 3-digit growth per year for the last 4 years. So we have a lot to do. Yeah.
200,000 bottles sold this year. Only this year.
This year, and each bottles is shipped from here, from Lyon. So we decided to have the stock with us to have a very good customer experience. So yeah, we manage all the chain.
Okay, so as of today, most of your customers are French, if I may.
Yeah, we're 90% in France, and we have some customers in Belgium. We have some in Europe, but we have to. If we talk about the challenges we want to be closer of our clients, so we want to be distributed, to be distributed at least in Europe.
All right. What's your background, Thomas? Like, where do you come from? Is your family an entrepreneurial family? Like, what were you doing before launching OA? Tell me everything about your life.
I'm a happy father, but my background, I had a grandfather who was an architect, and I think he really opened my eyes. Look at the world, look at beautiful things, look how you can make things better or more beautiful. It teach me a lot. My parents are teachers, French teachers, and biological teachers, so they're not entrepreneurs at all. But I don't know, for a long time I wanted to become an entrepreneur. I worked for 6 years.
Your parents, they teach bioscience.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And French, my mother.
Yeah, but that's not so far from your job. You are so much into the details of the organic way to produce wine. I mean,
yeah.
There is
and I worked for L'Oréal, and then made a MOOC with Ticket for Change.
Yeah.
And then I really wanted to become an activist entrepreneur, an entrepreneur who has a role to play, something to change. I then met FX, François Xavier, who is my co-founder. We're building a great team together. And on these times, I met a woman, an old woman. She was about to die, and we were discussing, and she told me, I don't regret the bad thing I've done, but I really regret maybe the good things I've not done. And I don't know, it's like a small music in my head saying that we have to make good things, we have to be entrepreneurs for good. And I think it's possible. So that's my challenge, yeah.
That's why you've been dedicating all of your time and sweat and energy to OA for the last 4 years.
Yeah.
And so, okay, what does it mean? Explain me to really be ecological. Today, I don't see any business starting without thinking that way, without thinking, how can I be really working in a very holistic approach, including everyone around locally. What does it mean, ecological? It doesn't mean only producing organic wines. It means much more. Can you explain it to me?
Yeah, it's much more, but maybe we can begin by the wines. We really have to understand what the issue, what's the problem in this industry. Maybe 4 figures. The first one is that viticulture, it's 4% of agriculture in France, but it's 20% of pesticides. It's the first 20%. Yeah, it's the first fruit in terms of pesticides. It's very an issue for biodiversity. Speaking about biodiversity, 80% of some species living in the vineyards died in the last 30 years. Wine can contain 1,000 times more pesticides than tap water. So the water you can drink, you have far more pesticides in wine than in water. And another figure is that 80% of pollution found in streams in France comes from viticulture. So we really we must change this. We must act on this. I often think about Gandhi's sentence, we must be the change we want to see in the world. So when you see all of this, you cannot stay on what is done for what was done for years. We have to change this. So that's what we try to do with OA. And I really appreciate what you said. One thing is to answer that issues, but another thing is to be really ecological. So it's a huge current in everything we do. So organic wines, okay, wines with no pesticides, okay, but I think we have to be ecological also with how we treat the partners. For example, we do not negotiate the price of the wines, how we treat the teammates, all the culture of the company.
And this is more about being conscious, I would say, being aware when you are an entrepreneur that you have you can make a big impact not only on the product itself but the way you are organized. And there is a label called B Corp. Patagonia is B Corp, and you, OA, are B Corp as well. I know it's hard to get this label. You're one of the few in France to have had this label. What does it mean? Because this label is really embracing all of the different aspects, not only the product itself of being ecological and green, but also the way you work with your employees, with your partners, etc. Can you explain a little bit?
So B Corp, it's a global movement funded by the founder of Patagonia. You have 2,000 companies in the world which are certified B Corp. You have 50 companies, I think, in France which are B Corp certified. The motto is use business as a force for good, and to become a B Corp, you have to answer like 400 questions, very precise questions. It's not only good intentions you can have, but it's very precise engagements you have that are written, that are shared with all the companies, all the shareholders, etc. The questions are about ecology, but also how you treat the company, the partners, all the questions about diversity, women, etc. It's very global and very precise. So yeah, we like it. And also in B Corp, it's a movement. So when you enter into B Corp, you are engaged to always look to be better, always change your processes, always discuss with the partners how to make things better. So it's very, very interesting, very challenging also. And B Corp helps us to improve all these things. So we're very happy to be a B Corp company.
Well, today you're selling wines, but the way you're doing it is really engaged, I would say. I mean, and you do it in an activist way.
Yeah.
So you're much more about making the people become aware of how they drink and conscious of the fact that when they buy a bottle, actually they participate into a whole ecosystem. Can you tell me what does it mean to try to be mission driven that way and to become an activist when you're selling wine?
The first thing is that it's in our culture to always think how we can do better, how we can say to people the role they have when they buy a product, what does it mean for biodiversity, for the winemakers, for the world, etc. So it's very interesting, and it's a huge mission. The other thing is that we want to act very concretely. So we give 1% of our turnover to what we say the program, the OA program for biodiversity. we saw all the issues, and we want to help the winemakers to do better. So we pay to analyze the biodiversity present at our winemakers in the vineyards, and then we construct with the Bird Protection League an action plan, and then we pay to make this action plan become alive. We also partnered with Biomed, which is a startup in Lyon. I don't know what, if you know it, but when you're organic, we often use copper. Copper, which is not
What is copper?
copper, cuivre in French. Copper is a metal.
All right.
You can put on the vineyards, and it cuts. It's another way for not putting pesticides, but you find then copper in soil, and it's not good.
Yeah.
So we pay with our program to measure the copper present in the soil of our winemakers. We analyze it, and then we pay also to plant different plants that absorb the copper. So we help the winemakers to change the way they produce, to produce ever in a better way.
Yeah, because it's not that easy to stop using pesticides. Basically, you have alternatives, but these alternatives will have an impact, will make an impact as well. It can be a bad impact sometimes, and you need to take this into account. Otherwise, everybody would do it.
It's not so easy, and you have to, as a winemaker, you have to rethink the way you produce, and we want OA to be part of the way they think.
Does it mean it's more expensive to produce wine?
It's not so expensive. You have more people working on the vineyards, so it's also a good thing. I mean, socially, because more workers. But pesticides, it costs a lot. So when you produce with biodiversity is free. It's just birds, plants, etc. So this is free. Yeah.
But okay, I get it. So what happened during COVID? I mean, have you been selling wines? Have you been reorganizing the team? And I mean, in terms of profound change in your strategy, have you been doing big things?
We sell in B2C directly from oaforgood.com, and we sell in B2B. B2B, all the restaurants that just closed, all the events were closed. So it was quite hard for us, but we took the time to review, recenter, refocus, rethink the strategy. And we launched early May the new wines, 10 wines, very, very committed. And we revamped the website. We made some changes, refocusing on clients and new targets, more or less impacted by the virus.
Mm-hmm.
And first it was a good time because we could stop a little bit, rethink the things.
Yeah, take one step back.
Yeah.
You weren't in the rush of the operations. You could think of your strategy, and you've been lucky you've raised right before the crisis, right?
Yeah, we closed the round during the virus. 1 week before everything stopped, we met some guys that were very interested in what we do. They wanted to invest in companies which have an impact on biodiversity. So during the virus...
During the confinement, you mean? During the lockdown?
The confinement, we had a lot of discussions. And just at the end, they invested in OA, joining other investors, very cool guys who also invested. So we just closed a round of 2.5 million euros a week ago.
Wow. Okay. Okay. And then okay. So since this, what are your next like challenges?
Um, Maybe two big challenges. The first one is to be closer of our clients. And when I mean closer, I think about retail. We are just entering some retailers in France and in Europe. We're discussing with very interesting retailers. The other thing is to keep the focus on the mission and keep away as a tool for the mission, not constructing away as the only aim of everything, but as a tool, and I really like it. So it's the two challenges, and the investors are wanting us to improve both of them.
It's been a long journey for you, Thomas. I know it hasn't been always easy at all to start and to launch this business. You've been talking about the very beginning, the finding your co-founder, François Xavier, being aligned, finding the winemakers. What has been what would you say have been the most challenging recently for you, and that has that helped you grow?
Really, I'm thinking about last year. We wanted or we needed to raise money. So I was on that focus, yeah. But we also then you also need to have good figures. So you also need to
show that there is traction and the client is still
exactly. And we recruited new people, so you also have to care about them. And we had our third daughter who just was born 10 months ago. So you also have to be a good father. So yeah, when you have everything and you have to be like the best on each part of it, it's like huge. But it teach me a lot on me, a lot on managing the team, on being more confident, on keeping things to others, giving some parts I love to do, etc. Meeting all the investors who invested or not. You learned a lot with them. So it was a very hard year, but very, very good year for me, but also for the company. So I don't regret anything, but yeah, it was quite hard to live.
And what have you changed in the way you manage the people, or the way you are, like you run the company since then?
Maybe giving them things and
more responsibilities.
Yeah, and allow me to think that they will do differently of what I would have done, but that would be great, and sometimes even better than what I could have done. So it's not easy when you like doing things, when you like to create, etc. So but it worked, and now it's day and night compared to like a year ago. So
delegate.
Yeah,
delegate and trust, and help them grow.
Yeah,
but do not make it from scratch. Otherwise, they won't feel responsible, the rest of the team, and you will be overwhelmed too fast.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And we really have a very great team, a very committed team. We know all the mission we have. Everything is aligned on that. So I think as an entrepreneur, I can be very lucky because François Xavier is very great guy, and we do I don't know a great duo together, and we have the team committed. So it's like
during the confinement and during the lockdown, like have you been organizing some wine tasting moment through Zoom, or just like to socialize?
Yeah, we made wine tastings. We have Damien in the team who loved presenting wines, etc. So he taught us a lot of things about wine and the regions, etc. We had coffee like every day with the team. It was very being at home but together. So yeah, it was like good moments for the company, even weren't together. But
We have a question from Shana, and she's asking, why have you been joining the family? Good question.
Yeah, it's a good question. I'm from a student of coup d'etat family.
So Coup d'etat is the program that we've created at the start of the family,
Exactly.
online and in French.
In French, yeah.
And not focusing only on building startups, but
No,
building
it's true.
a profitable business.
When I made the MOOC with Ticket for Change, I also followed the courses with Coup d'etat, and the one about change and Coup d'etat about launching things, testing, going quickly. Yeah, it was very, very important for me. And at the family, I found a lot of ambition, but a lot of humility. And sometimes the one is not linked with the other one. So I really love it. A lot of smile also, and a lot of different people from different backgrounds. I don't know. It's like a pillar for us, and I really can say that the family was present, and we could rely on the family on very precise moments. So, thank you, thank you, Alice. Thank you, Usama, also for all of that. Yeah.
Thank you, Thomas. Thank you. And we have another question saying, how can I buy your bottles? Is it only online?
It's online on oeforgood.com, and we are entering different retailers. So in Lyon, we are in different shops, and in September it will be even more distributed, but I can't say anything yet. And we are working on being distributed even more in France, very soon in Belgium, etc. So we are coming to you.
Cool. But today, most of your business is still through B2B event, etc.
Today, not on events,
Yeah.
but
No.
but yeah, we're working with community restaurants, community traders, community retailers. So this is a lot of our business. But you can also find us on the web, and it's not an issue. We ship the wines in the whole Europe. So we.
I mean, French wine is so famous. Like, don't you see the potential to run a huge global business?
Yeah, I confirm you. We see the potential on being global. We have French wines, but we could produce wines from other countries. It's not an issue, and we mostly sell the commitments we have and the coherence we have. So it fits to French wines. It fits to other products. So we have a lot to do for our mission. Yeah.
Are you recruiting?
We are recruiting on sales mostly. We just recruited someone great on logistics, and yeah, mostly sales now. And yeah.
Is it the book of the family that you have behind you?
It is.
Can you show it to us? Because I'm so proud that you have it with you. This is your, yes, the family diaries. Can you open it? Oh my God, Alice Agoré. You've been reading it? You've been reading it?
Yeah, I read it, and we have books at OA, and when you have a new teammate, I give the books, and I say you have to read it.
Oh, so cute! Okay, so for the ones who don't know, this book have been illustrated by me, and also with the help of the designer and Kyle, the ghostwriter. And together we've been going through all the life of the family since the beginning, and I'm very proud of this. We offered it only to our fellows and investors. And it's
Yeah,
only
it's
true
cool.
story. So I'm super happy that you have it here. I feel totally honored. Okay, I think that's the end of our moment. It was a really, really cool moment, Thomas. I'm glad we've been discovering your story, and Oe. I love to end good vibes on music notes. What is the song that you hear more often right now? Like just
The song I love, which comes from the family, is Aisha. And I always think about Younes dancing at the family. Very nice moments we had. We are at the family for like 3 years, so we had very good moments all together.
yeah.
Yeah.
I love this song.
Yeah.
Comme si je n'existais pas.
Elle est passée à côté de moi, sans un regard.
Reine de Saba.
I love this song.
J'ai dit Aïcha, prends tout est pour toi.
And this, you listen to it sometimes?
Voici les pères
Dancing, being all together. It's,
Yeah.
and I love all the moments we have together. And
Cool. It was a pleasure, Thomas. Thank you. Good luck and see you soon.
yeah.
Yeah, I